What's going on, YouTube? Today we're going to talk about Dragon Ball Super ending. So, Dragon Ball Super's been running for about 2 years now. I think maybe a little longer. Wait, nah, 2 years. 2 years and a bit, you know. I think it started the tail end of summer in 2015. In winter 2018. So, 2.5 years-ish. Now, it's been okay, you know. I'm not I watch it every week. Me and my best friend, we get together. We don't get together. We get together on PlayStation chat or on the phone or on FaceTime, and we watch it. So here's the thing about Dragon Ball Super. It's a great series. But there's so much holes in it that were never in Dragon Ball Z. That fans like me, hardcore fans, people who started drawing because of Dragon Ball Z, and that's referring to me. We see those holes, you know. Someone who's read the Dragon Ball manga, someone who is just an overall huge fan of Dragon Ball in general, it's kind of a problem to have this many holes. And the truth of it is, it ending. Here's the thing: it's not actually ending. That's the crazy thing. It's not actually ending. It's going on a hiatus. What does that mean? That means that the studio is going to take some time off Dragon Ball Super, because they've been cranking it out pretty consistently with not really many breaks. So it's going on hiatus. I don't think it will end. You know, I could be wrong. I don't think it will end, people. Why don't I think it will end? Simply because, and this might hurt some people's feelings. Dragon Ball is a cash cow, y'all. Dragon Ball is a cash cow. You see Dragon Ball, it basically prints its own money. That series has more nostalgic value than almost any other series in terms of its longevity, its likable characters, and its overall tone. Why? Because for all, people like me, I'm 25 years old, right? People like me and older, it was like their first hardcore shonen anime they were exposed to. Because of Toonami, and this is people in the West. People in Japan too, but people in the West, it was their first exposure to a proper shonen anime that had that shonen issue. But to us it wasn't an issue, but now people state it's an issue, and let's talk about that. It's the scaling thing. On Dragon Ball things, tables just keep getting stacked on top of each other. A guy comes along and he's really strong, and this is Dragon Ball Z, because we didn't get Dragon Ball and Toonami in the West, or I don't even know if you could call the UK the West. I live in the UK. I guess it kind of is the West. I live in the UK. We didn't get Dragon Ball first. We got Dragon Ball Z. I didn't even know that there was a series before Dragon Ball Z, until I was a little bit older, and I started collecting the Dragon Ball manga, and I actually prefer Dragon Ball, personally. To read, I prefer Dragon Ball because it's more contained and it makes more sense. Even the power scaling in Dragon Ball is more consistent than it is in Dragon Ball Z. Even let's not talk about that right now. We're talking about Super. Anyway, to a lot of people, Dragon Ball Z is that anime. It epitomizes what anime is. And that's all it is, It really epitomizes what anime is. It really makes you think, this is what anime is. This thing right here, this is what anime is. And that's the thing, right? So when we're looking at why it's so lucrative and why it's so popular, it's because of that. It's the super sped up action. It's the exaggerated characters. It's the crazy hair. All these things that have become tropes of anime. Because a lot of anime doesn't have all those things. It has kind of slightly adjusted hairstyles and stuff. Dragon Ball's hair goes insane, right? Look at Lupin the Third. The hair's not that crazy in Lupin the Third. Dragon Ball's hair is crazy. You know, Naruto's here, and some of the characters is kind of crazy, like Madara and stuff like that. But a lot of the other characters, their hair is more normal. Dragon Ball's, it's, you know, it's kind of part of the characters. You know, the hair, the powering up, the changing. So that's why. Anyway, I've said it twice now. Let's change subject about how I feel about it ending, or how I feel about it being on hiatus. But let's talk about if it actually ends. Now, if it actually ends and they actually conclude it, as a 25-year-old man who's been a fan of Dragon Ball his whole life and already believed Dragon Ball to be over back before they made Dragon Ball Super, I cannot complain. I can't complain, people, because I already thought it was over. I never thought it was making any more material except for maybe possibly some movies. Then they came with Battle of the Gods and they came with Revival of F, and then they decided to say, we're bringing it back with Super. And Super made us go through, like, I don't know, 60 episodes maybe? Or something like that, a huge amount of episodes, which were just recaps of these movies, which I didn't really appreciate, and they didn't actually do them as good. Because I feel like Dragon Ball Super's early animation was trash garbage. It was bad. So this is what I mean. To a lot of people, and I've watched other videos that people have talked about Super, I've watched other things, I've thought about it with friends. Look, to a lot of people, Dragon Ball Super is a stain on Dragon Ball's legacy. To me, I enjoy it, not overly enjoy it, but I tolerate it enough, and I also enjoy it. It has redeeming qualities and it also has issues. To me, the issues are very much based in the power scaling, very much based in the character designs, stuff like that, right? Other than that, I love it to a degree, right? But to a lot of people, those things aren't, you know, there's no redeeming that. To a lot of people, you've ruined it. Now, here's the thing. Here's what's crazy about that. Dragon Ball GT came out after Dragon Ball Z. And people didn't really like Dragon Ball GT too much. I didn't even think it had, I think it had 60 episodes or something. I actually like GT. But at the same time, I would have preferred certain things to not happen. But we're not talking about GT, we'll talk about another video. That's actually a good idea. Sorry guys, tangent. Anyway, what I will say is this. Dragon Ball Super has been okay. And then it's been good. And there's been episodes that are legitimately great. There's been episodes with beautiful animation. There's been characters that have really got character. There's been characters that really don't have character. There's been a lot going into Dragon Ball Super. It's definitely, you know, a melting pot of what Akira Toriyama kind of had in his mind and what the studio wanted to do. And then, you know, I honestly believe the manga surpasses the anime. It just surpasses the anime. It misses certain things out, but they're not that important. They don't need to be referenced. They've happened. We know as fans. The manga comes after the anime. I do believe the manga surpasses the anime. And I just bought the second volume of the manga. I haven't got the first volume because I know it covers a lot of stuff I've already seen, Beerus and stuff like that. I just bought the second volume. It's really good. So guys, look. End of the day, it going on hiatus could be a good thing. You know, a lot of people say they're getting fatigued from it. They're getting fatigued from seeing all these things scale up. My issue is I've always wanted Dragon Ball to be reimagined. And that's probably another video as well. And I'll talk about that. But I just feel like with this whole Dragon Ball Super ending thing, people don't need to panic. I think this is my conclusion. People that are fans that really love Dragon Ball Super, don't panic. It's not going anywhere. People that are fans of Dragon Ball Super that don't mind it ending, then you're neutral. People that want it to end, I'm sorry guys, I don't think it's really going to end. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. But I don't think it's going to end. So the way I look at it is this. Hopefully, and this is how I look at it. This is completely personal now. Me as a fan. TJ as a fan. Look, Dragon Ball Super fans. I feel like, hopefully, with this hiatus, what this will do is it will allow them to get that animation in order, and it will allow them to pursue a certain style that they want, and it will also allow them to get better plot from Akira Toriyama. Hopefully work with Toyotaro. Toyotaro is the guy who does the manga, by the way. Hopefully work with Toyotaro a little closer so their story is a little bit more cohesive to the manga. And, you know, maybe we can have a better product after the hiatus. You know, maybe they take 6 months off. Maybe they take a year off. I don't know. Maybe they take 2 years off. I hope not. But hopefully they take some time off to where it's substantial to the product. But at the same time, they might look at it like, well, Dragon Ball is a cash cow. We don't need to change anything. And that's sometimes what happens. But hopefully, as a fan, as a die-hard Dragon Ball fan, since the age of 6 years old. Well, 7 years old. Since that age, I just want them to deliver a better product. I just want them to do what's right for the product, for the characters. Because in this situation, when we're talking about fictional characters, we're talking about properties, we're talking about comics, we're talking about anime, manga, we're talking about books, we're talking about all these things. These things are important to people. These characters are very important to people. These characters are more than real to people. Yeah, we've never met Goku, we've never seen him. Most people don't even know that he's 5'7", except for real fans. But to us, these characters are real. To us, these characters have a heart. They have feelings. They have behavioral patterns. No, I got into an argument with one of our best friends about Frieza helping Goku. He was saying, no, Frieza's an overlord. He would never help Goku. He was freaking out. I was saying, characters change in stories all the time. If you look at him, Frieza hasn't had that much time in the series. He existed in the second major arc. Then he was destroyed. He came back. He was destroyed very quickly. Then you never really saw from him again. Now he's back. He's not stupid. He realizes where he is. So I like to look at things quite objectively. All I'm saying is, to people, these characters are real. These characters are completely people that we know. So I hope when, the series comes back, the people that make Super take a little bit of a closer look at the source material. I'm not saying that they're not. I'm just saying that a lot of fans have felt a certain kind of way about stuff. Anyway, guys, I've been TJ. I've talked about Super. I don't really think it's going to end. But hey, if it does, it was a decent ride. I can't complain. It's been fun for me. The animation has been lacking, especially to an artist. But some of it has been great. It was always my dream that... Now I'm going to cut there. I'm going to cut there because I want to talk... I'll make another video about that. I'll make another video about how I want Super to be. Okay? I'll make another video about how I kind of... Not even Super. How I envisioned Dragon Ball to be in this modern age of anime, because I honestly thought it could have been so much more. That's what upsets me to a degree. It has a potential that no one seems to be seeing in a different state, But we'll talk about that in another video. Anyway, guys, please like and subscribe if you like this content. It helps me get off the ground. I'm a new YouTuber. I'm just trying to get into this stuff. I'm not doing it for profit or for money or anything. I'm just doing it because I just want to give my opinion. I just want my voice to be heard about certain things. I think I'm reasonably knowledgeable about stuff. Sometimes, some stuff. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching. See you later.